Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Friday. We got 11 matchups on this NBA slate today. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below. And if you guys like betting on NBA player props, you already know, go ahead and check out ParlayPlay in the description below. Get 5 free entries just for signing up, guys. Go ahead and hop in there. Pretty simple. And yeah, we'll hop in it. Super busy slate today as we head into this weekend. Starting with the Detroit Pistons versus the Orlando Magic. Magic opening up as 2.5-point favorites with the over-under at 212. The last 10 head-to-head, Detroit 6-4, 7-3 covering the spread. The overs hit in 6 out of the last 10 matchups. Detroit just 4-6 in their last 10. One of those was a 5-point win against the Magic. Orlando just 2-8 in their last 10. Detroit 7-2 covering against the Magic. Magic 1-10 at home right now. I mean, this is an ugly game. Really stay away from it. But if I had to, I'm gonna take Detroit plus 2.5 on the road. Two bad teams, but Detroit has had success, and they've already beat the Magic in their last meeting. Give me Detroit plus 2.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Boston Celtics versus the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks opening up as 2-point home favorites with the over-under at 218.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Boston 7-3, 4-6 covering the spread. The overs hit in 6 out of the last 10 matchups. Boston 7-3 in their last 10. Atlanta 5-5 in their last 10. Coming into this on a 5-game winning streak. Actually playing really well this last week. Boston 5-2 on the road against Atlanta, 11-4 against Atlanta. You know, Atlanta 5-0 covering the spread during this 5-game winning streak here. Yeah, they're on a nice little streak here. I just don't like Atlanta here. I mean, they're on a 5-game win streak, but Boston's playing good basketball still, and I'm going to take Boston plus 2 on the road. You know, take the bucket with Atlanta at home if you want. Ride streaks, but I like the Celtics on the road here. Next matchup, we have the Denver Nuggets versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Denver opening up as 5.5-point favorites with the over-under at 215. The last 3 head-to-head, Denver 3-0. 2-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 1 out of the last 3 matchups. Denver 7-3 in their last 10. The Pelicans 5-5 in their last 10. Denver 4-1 against the Pelicans right now. 4-1 on the road against the Pelicans. Pelicans, surprisingly, they're 8-2 at home. I still just don't trust this Pelicans team here. I mean, it's a very bad Pelicans team. Given 5.5 points, I like Denver on the road here. Coming into this relatively healthy. Give me the Nuggets minus 5.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Indiana Pacers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder opening up as 1.5-point favorites with the over-under at 216.5. The last 10 head-to-head, the Pacers 7-3. 5-5 covering the spread. The overs hit in 3 out of the last 10 matchups. The Pacers just 3-7 in their last 10. OKC 1-9 in their last 10. Pacers, you know, no Brogdon, Sabonis, Turner. So many key guys are out for the Pacers. They've been very bad. 2-10 on the road. I mean, they've looked awful on a 3-game losing streak. I know the Thunder have been very bad here. They're on a 6-game losing streak. 0-5 at home. Another ugly matchup. Honestly, stay away. But I'm going to take the Thunder at home. I just haven't been impressed with this Pacers team. I mean, coming off a game where they allowed 158 points. I mean, they've been getting murdered. Not in love with it at all. Too many injuries for the Pacers. We'll take the Thunder at home here. Next matchup, we have the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Miami Heat. Heat opening up as 5.5-point favorites with the over-under at 208.5. The last 10 head-to-head, the Clippers 7-3, 7-3 covering the spread. The over's hit in 5 out of the last 10 matchups. No Morris for the Clippers on Friday. No Kyle Lowry. Jimmy Butler is questionable. The Clippers 6-4 in their last 10. Miami 8-2 in their last 10. Clippers surprisingly on a 6-game winning streak against Miami. 5-1 covering against the Heat. The Heat 9-2 covering in their last 11. 11-1 at home, playing excellent at home here. Yeah, I like the Heat at home in this one. Rolling with Miami. I just don't really trust the Clippers against good. They really have only been beating bad teams for the most part, coming off wins over the Wizards and the Magic. They really don't play too well against good teams. I'm taking the Heat at home in this one. Next matchup, we have the Portland Trailblazers versus the Houston Rockets. Portland opening up as 2-point favorites with the over-under at 232.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Portland 7-3, 6-4 covering the spread. The overs hit in 3 out of the last 10 matchups. Portland 6-4 in their last 10. Houston 4-6 in their last 10. Portland 5-2 covering against the Rockets. 6-1 in their last 7 against Houston. Houston 0-8 covering at home. They just haven't been that good. I'm taking Portland minus the bucket. Money line on the road here. Another ugly matchup. A lot of ugly matchups on this slate. Definitely not betting on this game, but we'll take the Blazers on the road here. Next matchup, we have the Utah Jazz versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies opening up as 3-point home favorites with the over-under at 224.5. The last 10 head-to-head, the Jazz 8-2, 6-4 covering the spread. The overs hit in 9 out of the last 10 meetings. Rudy Gobert is out. Donovan Mitchell is questionable. The Jazz just 2-8 in their last 10. They've been playing horrible. Memphis 7-3 in their last 10. Yeah, the Jazz 2-8-1 covering the spread right now. 1-6 on the road. Memphis 11-3 covering the spread. 6-1 at home. I'm taking the Grizzlies at home. Playing great. Jazz have just been playing horrible. They just have not looked the same with all the injuries, and it's been a rough few weeks for the Jazz here, but Memphis still playing great basketball. I'm taking the Grizzlies at home here. Next matchup, we have the Chicago Bulls versus the San Antonio Spurs. Bulls opening up as 2-point road favorites with the over-under at 228. The last 10 head-to-head, the Spurs are 7-3, 5-5 covering the spread. The overs hit in 5 out of the last 10 matchups. Chicago 4-6 in their last 10. The Spurs just 3-7 in their last 10. Both teams been struggling. Chicago 2-6 in their last 8 against the Spurs. Spurs just 3-7 covering in their last 10. 0-6 against the Eastern Conference. I just don't trust the Spurs at home here. Only a 2-point spread. Give me the Bulls on the road here. Next matchup, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Phoenix Suns. Suns opening up as 9-point favorites with the over-under at 230.5. The last 3 head-to-head, Phoenix 2-1, 1-2 covering the spread. The overs hit in 1 out of the last 3 matchups. No Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley was out Thursday. We'll see if he plays Friday. DeAndre Ayton is questionable. So is Crowder and McGee. Minnesota 7-3 in their last 10. Phoenix 9-1 in their last 10. Playing great basketball. 9 points, man. I really do think that's a lot. I definitely like Phoenix at home for sure. But, Minnesota's playing pretty solid. And they've beaten some good teams in the last 10 games. Beaten the Nets. They beat the Warriors. 9 points is a lot. If you like doing spreads, I think I'd roll the dice on Minnesota plus 9. I think they could definitely get a cover. They've been playing good here. But definitely taking the Suns at home. Next matchup, we have the New York Knicks versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks opening up as 9-point favorites with the over-under at 215. The last 10 head-to-head, the Bucks 7-3, 7-3 covering the spread. The over has hit in 2 out of the last 10 matchups. The Knicks 4-6 in their last 10. The Bucks 5-5 in their last 10. The Knicks 3-8 covering against the Bucks, 4-14 against the Bucks. You know, the Bucks 8-2 at home against New York. That's where they've been shining. But you know, just 1-5 covering in their last 6. They've been kind of playing pretty bad, honestly. And 9 points is a lot. Another one, I'm not in love with the spread whatsoever. With a Bucks team that's been struggling to cover the spread. And you know, Bucks team that coming off that bad loss against a good Cleveland team. But hard to trust the Knicks here. Definitely taking the Bucks at home for your moneyline parlays. I definitely think the Knicks could cover +9 if you're into spreads. But we're taking the Bucks at home here. All right, and then the last matchup, we have the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets opening up as 6.5-point favorites with the over-under at 228.5. The last 10 head-to-head, the Lakers 7-3, 8-1-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 5 out of the last 10 matchups. Lakers 4-6 in their last 10, coming off a bad loss against the Sixers. Hornets 7-3 in their last 10. LeBron was out Thursday. We'll see if he plays Friday. I really have no idea. The Lakers, they've been really good against Charlotte. On a 6-game winning streak against the Hornets. 6-0 covering the spread against the Hornets. Charlotte 13-3 covering at home. 8-3 covering in their last 11. Yeah, you know, Lakers, they've just been really hard to trust. I don't know if LeBron's going to be in this game or not. Just by the looks of the spread, I feel like LeBron's probably going to be out, but be sure to check his status. I really don't know. I'm not in love with the spread just because the Lakers have been good against the Hornets, and but the Lakers have just been so untrustworthy. Very tough. I'm probably staying away from this spread, but I mean, I'm definitely taking the Hornets at home. I mean, the much better team so far this season. Plays better, fun to watch. Coming off a huge 158-point performance. Lakers only putting up 87 points. I'm taking the Hornets at home here. And that's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Friday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Saturday. Have a good one.